Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today with you guys is another podcast video with my good buddy here, Recon Trooper.
Hey there, folks. Recon Trooper here, and if you're watching my version, I hope you enjoy the Lego Star Wars and Dying Light Hellraid gameplay in the background.
Ooh. Now, what Lego Star Wars game we talking?
Totally not the Skywalker Saga, because that one's garbage.
Yeah, right. Makes sense. All right, so I guess first of all, if you guys want to subscribe to Recon Trooper and myself, leave a like if you enjoyed this podcast. And with all that housekeeping stuff out of the way, I have one or two topics here that I thought of, but why don't you start with yours first, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, the first topic was actually something we were too late to do last time, and that's your quiz.
Oh yeah, I don't even know where that sheet is. I'm not even prepared.
Okay. Well, just
shoot.
Think of 5 random questions then, and that'll be fine.
All right, for Lego games or just for anything?
Anything, I guess, as long as I know what they are. Because if you're talking about Ninjago, then I'm just gonna hum the rest of the time.
Yeah, right. Okay, question 1. What is, in chronological order, the Middle-earth 6 movies?
The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, and Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Okay, you get me worried there. All right, question number 2.
I don't know what I was thinking. King of the something.
King of the Kong.
Yeah.
Or something. All right, question number 2. What was the alternate title for The Hobbit 3, Battle of the Five Armies? What was it originally going to be called?
There and Back Again.
Good job, okay. Okay, question 3. How many Lego game DLCs were there going to be but eventually got canceled? So stuff that they were like, yeah, this is going to show up. This is coming out soon.
You mean overall?
And then it got canceled.
Because there's games I haven't played before. So.
Yeah, I'm just that you know about,
okay.
Just in general, stuff you've heard about, that kind of thing.
Only one I know about. Only one I know about is
okay.
the Hobbit
I'll give you a
one.
hint. I'll give you a hint. Which one?
The Hobbit one.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's one. I'm still mad about that.
Who isn't?
Yeah, and the second is.
You said
I don't know if you've actually played this game. Yes. Yep.
What was Worlds thing gonna be?
It was called Survivor Mode. It was like you're on like randomly generated, like islands and stuff.
Oh.
And you'd have to like brick build boats and stuff and kind of work your way out, but
and avoid
never
starving?
happened, sadly. That I don't know if it was gonna be that, but if that intense, I know it was just build a boat. That would be cool though.
That would be what literal survival mode is. You know, you have to not starve to death.
Yeah. Kill your fellow Lego people to survive. That makes sense. All right, what do we got? One more question? Oh boy.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Let's do a Star Wars question. Or no, we'll do an MCU question because I'm working on the MCU again. How many okay, list as many Infinity Stones as you can in terms of their MCU appearance in order.
Okay. Space Stone, Mind Stone, Reality Stone. I was gonna say Ether, which is basically the same thing, I guess. But
yeah, I'll give it to you.
But, so Reality Stone, Power Stone, Time Stone, and Soul Stone. There's actually in the comics, there's like 3 other stones or something that they never made in the movies, but I forget what they're called.
Well, I have the I didn't read it yet, but I have the comic. I think it's just called Infinity War, Infinity Saga, something like that.
Yeah.
Thanos is on the cover, and I've heard a lot on the internet that yeah, I know. Really, Thanos is on the cover? Wow. But I didn't read it. Have you read it? Like, is it actually different than the MCU movie?
I don't know. I honestly haven't read any comics, really. I've only read maybe 3 that I wanted to read.
Oh, okay. So you're fairly new to comics.
Yeah, one was The Ultimate Spider-Man. One of the books of that which had Carnage in it, and it had Peter essentially destroying Carnage. Like Peter, not Spider-Man, Peter. And
oh, really? Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and then there was another one called Venom versus Carnage, where it introduces Toxin. And
I've heard of him. I've heard of that guy.
And then so that's about it.
Okay, all right. That's still fair. I know for a fact that the book I was talking about has like Thanos' wife or girlfriend. Her name is Death.
Yeah,
she's she plays a big role. Tell me in the comments down below if anyone knows more about it. Again, I have it. I just didn't read it. But anyway, I guess we're on the topic of MCU. I guess do you have an MCU related topic or what do you got going here?
Well, I have Doctor Strange too, but I was also I know you'll get to it fairly soon. It's another 2 movies away in your reviews, but just for discussion purposes, what are your thoughts on, first of all, before Doctor Strange 2, what are your thoughts on Age of Ultron?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that review. I think the consensus online is that it's the worst one and that it's no good and that Joss Whedon did it. I know he's apparently he's a bad person. I don't know, but he's a good director. I think that the first Avengers movie, I mean, it's not only a masterpiece, it was also like, incredibly hard to follow up because that movie, I didn't see it in theaters. I got into Marvel around 2013, around the Lego Marvel 1 release date. So I was, I didn't see that in theaters. But for people that have, I'm assuming it must have been like a crazy, crazy cool event. And it's a great movie, that first Avengers film. But the second one, I haven't seen it in a few years actually. But from what I remember, I don't really understand the hate. I mean, I don't think it's as iconic as the first movie, but I don't think... Out of the first Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame, I don't think out of those 4 movies there is a bad one. You know what I mean? Like it's not just because it's the Avengers. I just think, from what I remember at least, Age of Ultron was pretty well made.
People are mostly upset with Ultron himself and how weak he was and all that, and that he wasn't anything like apparently he is in the comics. But I don't. I don't care. I mean, I don't know you. You saw the podcast I did with Echo, and I said that I can't imagine anyone other than James Spader voicing him now. Like, I couldn't imagine somebody that did Mickey Mouse voices suddenly voicing him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I couldn't either. That's a good point.
So I think the acting was okay, and it's kind of weird trying to see if his face stretches without mechanical openings showing up. Because, you see his face, emote and everything, and you're kind of wondering if some of the metal stretches when he emotes, or if it's just, like, little panel after little panel separating or whatever. But
right. Yeah, how would that work?
But I think he's a decent villain, and, like, he throws his temper tantrums throughout the movie, like, I was also mentioning to Echo that one part where... Vision shuts him out at, in the climax there, and he's like, "You shut me out. You think I care?"
Yeah.
But of course he's throwing a fit, so of course he cares.
Yeah.
Like
that's funny. Yeah.
Listen to yourself, Ultron, before you tell other people.
Yeah, stupid robot. I mean, I think
only
Age
full
of Ultron...
homicidal glitches that's he thinks are his winning.
Yeah,
those
can be buffed out. Yeah. We can get rid of that in the update or something. We can patch it. Tony can patch them out like a video game.
Yeah, but
no, I think overall Age of Ultron, I don't think it's bad. I think that first of all, we got Vision, so that's cool.
Yeah, and Wanda.
Ultron's a decent villain. And Wanda, right? I mean, well, she was in the Winter Soldier post credit, but this is her first movie, really. So I think that's really cool. That
real debut. It's not just a cameo.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I think that was really well done. Of course, it's cool in hindsight knowing where Wanda and I mean I would say Quicksilver, but he's
Yeah, would have been nice to keep him around at least until Endgame or something, because
yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, I kind of know why they did it.
Apparently, the actor actually signed a multi-film contract, but they only killed him in that one. So like, and
that's kind of wonky. But they're like, hey, you want to be Quicksilver for 7 movies? Yeah. Oh, too bad you're dead.
But I mean, it would
what
have been nice.
Do?
Yeah. Things would be nice if they happened, but sometimes you just have to accept what is nice and let go of what would have been nice.
I suppose, yeah. It's a shame, and I wanted to see what, because I mean, did you see the WandaVision show?
No, Disney Plus.
Okay, well then I can't say it.
Sure you can. I don't mind.
So you saw Multiverse of Madness without seeing, because you have to see WandaVision first, unless you already looked up spoilers or something.
Well, I looked up some spoilers. I know about, there's a guy called White Vision, and there's, I think...
It's not racist, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, it's not racist.
He's literally the color white.
It's roboticist,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's, I think the main villain of the show is someone called Agatha.
Yes, yeah. And they were going to make an Agatha spin-off show called Coven of Chaos. That I don't think is happening.
I know from a screenshot, Wanda crosses her eyes when she's pregnant.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a spoiler.
But
that's a heavy spoiler.
But yeah, I haven't actually seen it, but there's things I know about it because I've seen screenshots and stuff. So, but I don't mind being spoiled if it's a Disney Plus thing because I could care less about Disney Plus and Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the bad thing. It's like, I was just I was talking just real quick off topic for a second, but I was talking with my aunt, and I'm like, hey, there's this new Ninjago show coming out, Dragons Rising, and it's only on Netflix because they hate I have Disney Plus. I've never had cable, and it's impossible to actually be invested in all these franchises because you'd have to be a friggin' millionaire to afford all, to afford all these things. It's crazy. You got HBO Max, you got Hulu, you got Disney Plus. It's insane. But I do have Netflix for at least the time being because I have to watch Ninjago, obviously. But yeah, for people to keep up with.
Otherwise, I die of
brain decay. It's a medical thing. Yeah, you wouldn't understand. It's a medical thing. But it's just strange because you like Marvel. And I know you have your thoughts on we both have our thoughts on Phase 4, but it's just for the most part it's passable, and it just sucks that you get all these awesome shows, and I'm sure you can find them on eCreator or Etsy or something on Blu-ray, but
I haven't actually been looking really for a DVD thing being sold.
Yeah, that's the thing, they don't even sell them quote unquote normally,
Yeah, I know. I haven't
sucks.
I haven't gone on to Etsy though, even though you mentioned it in the first podcast. I haven't really. I just don't have the interest right now, I guess, to go searching for it or anything on Disney Plus. Not even Star Wars shows. Although I did for a time think about getting the Mandalorian, but I decided I'd save my money for something else.
Yeah, that's fair. That's smart. Buy it and use it on Chipotle or something,
Yeah. But, on to Doctor Strange 2 now.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent thing, though, and I don't know if you know this, but that giant octopus, Gargantos as they call it in the show, the movie, I should say, not show, there's actually a villain in the comics called Shuma Gora or Gorath.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that briefly.
It's kind of slightly based off that, but some stupid excuse that they came up with that it's they had some kind of copyright thing for the name.
Oh, of course.
The name because of Conan the Barbarian or something.
Oh yeah, okay. So it was originally featured in a non-Marvel comic, and they couldn't.
I guess so. I don't know. Just,
Mm.
but I don't think anybody would even, unless they're that into Conan, that it's like the only thing they watch. Much like you with Ninjago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone would really either pay attention or care if Marvel used the name.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think it's. I think that's the last thing Marvel they care about.
They don't even name the thing in the movie. Even Doctor Strange just calls it the giant octopus. So
yeah, it's a moot point. It's stupid.
Like,
whatever.
Just call that villain. They've got Dr. Octopus and Giant Octopus.
Yeah, the marketing guys are the real villains or whatever. But
but
oh boy. But no, I think that because the director of Multiverse, Sam Raimi, of course, he did a lot of stuff. He did the Spider-Man trilogy. He did Evil Dead, which you guys know I like Evil Dead a lot. But
Spider-Man's the only thing I've seen of his work.
Okay,
but.
I don't know. I mean, if you can stomach horror and some gore, I think Evil Dead's good. But I know he did Drag Me to Hell. He did.
All.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. I think he did Oz, Great and Powerful. So he did a few things for Disney before. But I didn't see that film. I just know about it. But I think that Multiverse being the first kind of MCU quote unquote horror film, because look, I don't think Multiverse is a horror film. I do think it has some horror elements.
Yeah.
But like when you look at a horror film, 99% of that horror film is horror. This movie had pieces of it, but it was also kind of funny and action packed. It's a Marvel movie. It can't be straight up one thing. But what did you think about the horror aspects? Do you think they fit? Because you haven't seen WandaVision, so upon not watching that, do you think that it works?
Well, I'm trying to think what exactly are the horror elements, because I wasn't really... I mean, unless you're talking about Undead Strange at the end there.
Yeah, well, that, of course, Wanda...
That wasn't really horror, it was humorous, because it's just this talking zombie telling, what's her name, Chavez, no, not yet. Like his jaw is just kind of opening and closing. His lips aren't even making shapes or anything. It's kind of just like la la la.
Yeah, he's just like a puppet. But, I don't know. I mean, I guess the horror would be. I mean, I don't know if that'd be horror. That'd be more creepy. But the horror could be like Wanda murdering everyone, or her like just like coming out of the portals all creepy, and her. I think Wanda's the scariest thing in that movie. Of course, I'm not gonna have nightmares, but I mean, for an MCU movie that never really dabbled in that creepy stuff, I think it did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Because really, it's just Wanda being pissed off about her fake sons, and there's a lot of really good aspects
alternate reality sons. They're not.
That's true.
They're obviously not fake. Otherwise, why would she even care if they're fake?
Yeah. I think it's good though. I mean, do you have any negatives about it? What's your favorite and least favorite thing about it?
My only negative probably would be the obvious thing, even though it's like I think I mentioned this before, that I just pretend that the one scene I'm just gonna mention, if people know it, then that's great.
I know what you're talking.
Yeah, I just pretend they're sisters because they kind of have their arms around each other like best friends. So I just pretend they're sisters or best friends or something, and
that's what best friends do.
You don't see them doing, all the stuff that a couple would do. So
yeah, I wish.
Like. So I just
No, I get you.
I can endure it. I mean, it's not like
I think my only issue.
Eternals apparently. I think Eternals apparently had more in your face kind of stuff than that.
Oh yeah, Eternals. I mean, I don't want to get too political, as everyone knows, but
yeah,
Eternals is pretty woke. There's a few iffy scenes in there, but I think Eternals is a good film.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the more underrated ones. I know everyone hates it, but
well,
the woke. Yeah,
some
it's
of
pretty.
It is,
it's
a lot
pretty,
of it is justified for that. They're not just outright hating it. They're Disney coerced Marvel into doing something, and not to mention Marvel itself had some pretty shady characters in their team too, so
that they did.
it's kind of understandable.
I think my own...
but
yeah. I think my only issue with Multiverse is some of the writing choices. I just think, because Doctor Strange, I think it's one of the better Phase 4 movies, but this film, even though it's good, it's still suspect to that Phase 4 trait where all the women are perfect and the white man is bad type trope. It's in every freaking Phase 4 movie.
Yeah.
And in this one, look at Nebula or Gamora or Black Widow. All of these, or just Rey from Star Wars, for God's sake, all of these women in film, they're not perfect out of the gate. You know what I mean? They have to learn, they fail, and then from those mistakes. America's just like, I don't know. And Doctor Strange is like, believe in yourself. And then everything's gravy. It's like, that's not how film works. Like, it's not that easy.
No. But
he's just do better. And she's like, okay, I will. It's like,
I suppose one other negative I have is we don't really get to see. I don't know if you saw the post credits of the first Doctor Strange, but we don't really get to see his Mordo. What's happening with him lately.
Oh, that's right. I mean, he was kind of in it. It's more of like
after he takes the energy out of that paralyzed guy that uses the energy to walk. That's all.
Right.
That's the last we see of him, and people were hoping to see a good face-off between the two characters in the second one, and we see this other reality Mordo instead.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Maybe they'll do it in the third if they make a third. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's a good point.
Yeah, but I gotta admit, though, I was kind of hoping Wanda wouldn't be evil when I first heard that she was in the second one a long time ago. I was thinking she and Doctor Strange were going to team up against the big bad of the film. I think that would have been kind of cool to see, just one sorcerer and a sorceress, just kind of teaming up against this ultimate evil,
That would have been cool. I would have wanted to see that. Well, I mean, the post-credit scene of that does have Clea or whatever. Yeah. Apparently the actress, she's like, oh, they're not calling me, so I don't know if Clea's going to actually show up or if that was just like a tease that, like the DCEU loves to do, never going to friggin' happen, but we'll have to see.
So, but
no, I think that Doctor Strange, for all of its writing flaws, which there aren't that many, it's just one or two things, I think a lot of people love to, especially for Star Wars, but for the MCU, a lot of people, I think they kind of overblow the hate. They're like, oh, the writing's horrible. It's like, well, not every line is bad. You know what I mean? There's only like 2 or 3 that I could think of. But I think that it's definitely, I mean, you haven't seen everything of Phase 4, but in my opinion, at least, it's probably one of the most entertaining and probably the most rewatchable. I just think that Sam Raimi is just such a visually distinct director. You even see that, as much as I give crap toward the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, which I don't hate them. I'm not going to lie and say I hate them.
No.
There's merit to them. I think they're okay.
They're like this. They're
they're well directed.
2.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
You don't hate them, but they're kind of the least favorite of yours.
Yeah, and to be honest, now that the Sam Raimi trilogy is on Disney Plus, I used to have them on DVD. I don't know what happened to them. Maybe I sold them at the exchange. I don't know, but I need to rewatch them because I need to update my opinion on those because it's been a minute.
Yeah, and you make sure to watch Spider-Man 2.1 if you can, because there's extended fight scenes in that, and as well as new scenes that weren't in the original.
So is that like would that be on like a DVD or Blu-ray cut, or is that like an online thing?
Well, I don't know if it's online, but I've got it on Blu-ray. I have kind of like a trilogy collection on Blu-ray, and it includes the original Spider-Man 2 as well as the 2.1 as it's called. So
I see.
But it's 2.1 is, of course, it's the extended, so it's the better of the two. So,
of course.
But yeah, it's pretty good. The extended fight scenes are pretty rewatchable if you just like them. If you want to spoil yourself, they even have them on YouTube, just like extended, Spider-Man 2.1 bank fight or Spider-Man 2.1 train fight. They have them on YouTube if you just want to see them. There's also
Okay, I might have to.
There's also some others.
Might have to do that.
Other scenes that are in there. I'm not gonna spoil all of them if you do plan on seeing it, but
no, I definitely will. I mean, when I do my rewatch, I'll watch that version for sure.
Yeah, one other scene though I'll talk about is the scene when Peter comes home and he and Harry are talking about Spider-Man. Before.
Oh yeah.
Like it's on his birthday or something, and they're in his home, and they're talking about Spider-Man. There's a extended version of that in it too. So, of Harry just mentioning how he wants Spider-Man dead, same way that Peter wants the guy he thought killed his uncle dead. So,
I see. That's cool. So that's like a. Yeah. So that's not in the original version, right?
No, it's just kind of. Harry just saying, taking pictures of your friend, and then it cuts to Peter taking out the trash.
Perfect cut. Perfect.
Yeah, so speaking of hated movies, just kind of off topic. It's not really a topic unless you want it to be, but you haven't.
We can make it a topic.
You haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how well of a topic it can be. I forgot to mention when I was talking about the Godzilla films that Godzilla King of the Monsters is the most hated of all three of them. So as a result, it'll probably be your most favorite because I know how you like most hated films that everybody else hates. So
yeah.
So
that is true.
It'll probably be your most favorite when you watch it. If everybody else
That's
hates
funny.
it.
Well, why does everyone seem to hate it? Is it like
I don't know. I think it's the acting or something. I don't know. People are complaining people are complaining in the first one that Godzilla, was only in the movie for 5 minutes. And in this one, people are complaining that there's too much monster fight, not enough human stuff, and the actors themselves were kind of poor in their roles or something. I don't know. But
bro, that's why you go see a monster movie, for the monster fights.
Exactly. But
I want to watch 2.5 hours of people talking.
Yeah. And then only 30 seconds of a fight.
Yeah, right. Okay, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah.
Perfect popcorn movie right there.
Yeah. But yeah, just to say that, though, I think King of the Monsters will be your favorite of the three because it's the least favorite of everybody else's except mine. I like it.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
well, that's good.
The brawls.
I mean, what about
the brawls that Godzilla and King Ghidorah have are pretty epic.
Okay, that's cool. Now, I mean, I like Kong Skull Island. I mean, I know that's the only one I've seen, but
yeah,
I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take a lot for me to change my mind, but we'll see what happens.
I go in, edit Kong out, and put just a giant Rey Skywalker with her lightsaber. Cut the Skullcrawler in half with one slash and say, "Franchise Fanatic. You were expecting a better fight than that? Too bad."
Yeah, right. That'd be perfect. I see. That's a 10 out of 10 movie right there.
But so yeah. So any topics you want before I continue?
Yeah. So I remember one time we were talking about the Lord of the Rings Gollum game, and I don't have it, so I can't speak of.
Neither do I. I just heard that it's
don't buy it.
Like 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, that's the thing. I heard it's complete dog water. Like they're like, this is the worst game of the year. Don't buy it. This is a scam. And I just think that's really effing funny, but it's also really kind of odd because you would have thought that in the year 2023 we would have had games that aren't completely broken still, but apparently we're still getting those.
Just being a game based on Gollum, I honestly really couldn't see how it would succeed very well because when people think of a Lord of the Rings game, they're thinking of things that you can like sword combat and stuff, and one just based on Gollum, of you just crawling around like he does and stuff, I just couldn't really think of how it would work successfully So
yeah, I don't either. I mean, it's weird because like you said, I'm picturing Talion from the Shadow of War games or
like if
something like that. I'm not picturing.
If they made a game that was similar to like Star Wars Battlefront, like the new ones, and then Gollum was just a playable character.
Yeah.
Kind
that
of
would
be different
because
he could be like a stealthy character, and then you do like an assassination where he jumps on somebody's back, hits them in the head with a rock, and then jumps off their back, and the guy just kind of falls forward dead.
That would work. But instead, they're like, hey, I like they pitched it in the boardroom. They're like, you want to play as a half-naked, shriveled old balding guy for 6 hours straight? And they're like, yeah, sure, that works. But apparently it's just a broken, janky mess. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, nothing about the game.
Like, I don't even know what the setting is. Is it between the Hobbit after he loses the ring and Fellowship, or is it even before the Hobbit? Like.
So I'm not sure if it's even canon or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it isn't, because it's no good. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'd love it if I actually played it. But as far as I'm aware, it takes place. So that scene in, I think it's in Fellowship, where you see Gollum and he's getting tortured. And he's like, and he does all that. And the Uruk-hai or whatever, the orcs are kind of torturing him, and then he kind of escapes, and then you kind of see him a little after that, and there's that fill in the blank moment. That's what it is. So in the Gollum game, you play as him in Barad-dûr after he's getting assaulted and tortured by the orcs, and you escape.
Yeah, well.
Apparently. I mean, I don't think the developers even knew what was going on. But
I mean, if you had to go from Mordor all the way to, I guess, Moria, which is where he catches up with the Fellowship, it would be kind of fun, I guess, in terms of an adventure, but in terms of actual gameplay mechanics and stuff, probably just be like, the only enemies you fight are fish that have teeth.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, they even said, like, the combat that's in the game, it's a stealth game, which could work, like you said, but the combat, you can only strangle an orc if they don't have a friggin' helmet on, and then if you get captured, like a little cutscene plays of him getting like beat by an orc, but the game like glitches out every time.
Yeah.
It's just, oh man, no good.
Yeah.
And it could have been so much better. I mean, like they could have made it work, but they just jacked it all up. And they rushed it out or whatever their excuses. But there's a trend I'm noticing. I'm sure you're noticing this.
With video
there's
games?
A trend. Yes, there's a video game trend going on. It's not a good one. It's, let's release a game half-baked and then apologize for it publicly, and then in 7 to 8 months it'll be better.
Yeah. Or,
I have an alternative. You can just release the game when it works. It's like I probably said this 100 times, but it's literally the same thing as you buying a $50,000 car, and they're like, "Oh, we'll mail you the steering wheel."
Well, did
that doesn't come out?
Hogwarts do that too? Did they release it half baked?
No, actually, which is rare. I mean, I'm playing on a Series X, and I know my uncle got the PS4 version. He got the last gen version, and he's almost done with the campaign, and he said it's a little more janky than what he wanted, but for the most part, from what I gather, across all systems, next gen, current gen, it seems pretty stable. I mean, I had, if I play the game in 60 FPS mode, it really doesn't work too great. It kind of stutters a bit, but if you play on 30 FPS mode, it's not too bad. But, I mean, you look at, like, Lego Star Wars had the Sky Flicker for me, and other people. But
actually, that's
Dying Light 2...
That's something I noticed towards the end when I finished Lego Star Wars. I was, I think it was Takodana, because I was playing the planets in alphabetical order to, get them 100%ed. And once I got to Takodana, it was when there was trees and stuff kind of also towards the sky, against the sky, and then you see it kind of flashing.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. There's like Lego Star Wars.
I didn't have it the first
Saga.
time. I didn't. Either I didn't have it or I just didn't notice it the first time, but that was because most of the time, the first time I was just playing the campaign because you have to go on to Takodana to continue the story. So,
right,
but
right,
getting all the Kyber bricks and stuff, that's when I started noticing it, because I was on it more longer. So
yeah, it's definitely.
Oh well, it didn't. I mean, it was kind of disappointing to suddenly see this thing happening, but it was just I wasn't gonna be on Takodana long, so I just kind of let it pass. But
yeah,
I was kind of like, oh, that's what Franchise was talking about.
He's not crazy.
Well, it's just you never recorded any gameplay of it or anything. I think you were on Series X when it was happening, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's weird because when I record my gameplay, I record on my Xbox One downstairs, and
so
it's kind of there.
You couldn't have recorded it anyway, so I kind of just every time you mentioned the sky flicker when you talked about the game, I was kind of like, well, I don't have it, so I don't know what that looks like, and then finally it happens to me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what he's talking about the whole time.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen to anyone because it's freaking annoying. But I mean,
yeah. But
what do you do? I guess
it's not on every planet. It just seemed to happen on Takodana, and I can't remember. I think it happened a tad on Yavin. But
okay, yeah, well, it's
kind of every forest.
Aegon Kloss had it too.
Oh, did it? Oh,
for me it did.
Oh.
Yeah, every planet with trees on it, it was just death.
Yeah. Well, I think I only had a problem on Agent Kloss when I think I was trying to go into one of the hangars and the floor kind of was gone, and I ended up falling a great deal forever before I finally just turned the game off and turned it back on.
Oh, like you fell through the floor or something?
Yeah, it was like all of a sudden, the interior just got erased off in the game, and it was just showing this big gray space with, what's behind it showing,
I never had that. Hopefully I won't get that.
But,
Jeez.
I'm glad I'm done it anyway. I finally finished it months ago.
Oh, that's good.
As you saw.
I'm still trying to work on it.
Yeah. Because I posted it on your server, actually, on your Discord server. I posted.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yep.
100% Switch, Xbox, and achievements. So.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's nuts.
Well, that's my thing. Is when I play an Xbox Lego game, I make sure to go for the achievements too, because it's only when it feels like it's fully complete when you have all of them as well.
No, I agree. Even though I don't do it, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's better.
Like, I'm the type of gamer, I'll get an achievement and be like, oh, cool, I got it, and then I move on.
Yeah. Well.
No, it's cool though. I mean, it's cool you do that. Yeah, right.
But
we're done with this podcast. It's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Lego games, though, are you gonna get Lego 2K Drive?
No, I'm not a racing game person.
Oh, I'm playing it right now. Actually, man, it's freaking good.
In fact, I kind of hate races in games.
Oh,
because I mentioned this in the first podcast how I hate races in Lego games because when it comes to timed races. When it comes to timed races, it seems like the timer isn't long enough, and sometimes you don't get to the gate in time, and you have to spend a good 5 or 10 seconds turning around, and you've already blown 10 seconds, and then on racing AI guys, they're at full speed right away, whereas you have to actually pick up speed when you start driving.
Yeah,
and
that's true. Yeah, it seems pretty broken.
It's only when they crash into civilian vehicles that you get the advantage.
Yeah.
But
I was doing Lego Marvel 1. I remember doing it on my 360 back in 2013. I had to I think you had this issue. I had to drive against Maria Hill on the helicarrier. That thing was a pain in the butt, man. I spent a freaking year on that thing.
Yeah, well, I learned that when the second the race starts, you have to move kind of in front, try to get in front of her, move directly into her, and it sort of slows her down. And I think once you get forget how it worked. I think if you're at doing that long enough, she eventually pushes you in front of her or something.
Oh.
Or I don't remember
Let's see.
entirely. Or you do it, or you cause her to spin around or something. I don't remember, but that's the key.
I don't even remember.
The key. It's not just straight up trying to beat her because you're always going to lose doing that. But
yeah,
you have to nudge into her right at the start, and it stops her from, going already 70 miles an hour when you're only starting at 2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best race in the game. But I like I said, I've been playing a lot of Lego 2K Drive. I'm almost done with the campaign. It's a freaking blast. Like it's not made by TT, so the driving's actually good. Okay, I think Lego City Undercover was good controls, but a lot of Lego game controls are no bueno. But this game is really, really good. Like the open world's good, the races are good, the mini games are fun. I know. I mean, I paid. It is, yeah. I mean, you can't get out of your car. You're always in the car.
That's
but
too bad.
I know. Well, I think of it like Call of Duty. You can't not shoot a terrorist in the face. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
sure,
it's fun. It's really
sure you can if you're playing in multiplayer and you're on the terrorist team and you're shooting.
Oh yeah,
shooting the SEALs in the face. Then you
that's
can't.
true. Well, yeah, that's
you can't
true.
not shoot. You can not shoot a terrorist if you're on their team, unless you want to.
Yeah, you got
betray
me.
them.
Yeah.
But
that is true. But no, I do think it's a fun game. I mean, if you're not into racing games,
yeah,
I don't know if it'll change your mind. I'm not big into them either. It's like racing games are like fighting games for me. I'll play them and I like them, but I'd rather do it something else. I'd rather play Assassin's Creed or something. But it's fun. It's a good Lego racing game. I'm having fun with it. I think it's well made. But
yeah,
one day you may get it. I don't know. But what Lego games have you not played?
I think. Well, I don't remember if there's 2 city undercovers or just 1, but
there's a Wii the Wii U version which was on.
Okay.
They ported it to the Xbox and PlayStation 4, and then there's one called The Chase Begins, which is on 3DS.
Yeah, well, neither of those.
Oh man, you gotta play Lego City Undercover. That's one of the best ones.
And well, are there respawning enemies?
Sadly, no. That's the one negative is that like you play as a cop, you can't there's no once you beat everything and you're like 100%, there's no like crooks to recapture, which is a bummer. But I think the open world is fun enough where you don't need that. But I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
You like smashing things. I like smashing enemies.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, achieve something.
Yeah, I know. I'm weird. I think. Well, but that's just for Lego games.
Yeah, but
like if I'm playing Assassin's Creed,
there's also Lego movie games I haven't played.
Yeah.
There's Lego Harry Potter, Lego The Hobbit.
Well, you're not big on Harry Potter, though.
No, I mean I'll watch the movies if they're on TV or whatever, but I've never been into them like that.
Okay.
But yeah, also Lego The Hobbit for one big obvious reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's still well made, though. I think you should at least give it a chance.
And Lego, I have Lego Marvel 2 downloaded on my Xbox because I got the collection thing, but I haven't played.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played it yet. I did play Avengers on my 360, but I haven't played it on my One yet. And there's also
So you got some stuff to play.
Lego Indiana Jones 2. Haven't played. I played the first one.
That one, everyone hates that one.
Oh.
I don't, but everyone else hates it. I mean, it's not my favorite, but...
Yeah, well, I think part of it is because the bosses are changed, and you essentially, every boss, you fight this giant thing every time.
Yeah.
Or something, I don't know. The one thing I I thought was cool is you apparently can make your own levels on it, but
Yeah, I never really did anything with that.
yeah, well,
But it's an option, I guess. It's there.
yeah. If you're just bored, I guess just make some random messy thing and then play it and see if you enjoy it, and then if you see any flaws, you'll be like, oh, I can fix that.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess it was like the early stages of Lego Worlds, I guess.
Yeah. And then there's DC Super Villains I haven't played.
That was good.
And Lego Incredibles I didn't play.
I like that one. Yeah, I think that one's a little underrated.
I think the last one that I can think of anyway. I'm sure there's others that I can't. Lego Dimensions, but I already got Disney Infinity, and I wasn't gonna buy Dimensions just to buy a whole bunch of Lego things that should just be in the game like a regular Lego game, like if they made
100%, even though I bought them all, but I agree.
If they just made a digital version of Lego Dimensions where you don't have to, all the characters are already in the game, then I might buy it because I'd like to play as some weird characters that, like apparently Knight Rider is in it, and Back to the Future stuff is in it.
Yeah.
And
I never
a bunch of other things that I can't think of right now, but they're in there.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Yeah, you can have like Finn and Jake from Adventure Time in the Batmobile in the Wizard of Oz. It's crazy.
But yeah, that's kind of
like
I haven't been really like desperate to get it though, because like I said, Disney Infinity is the last thing like that I got, and I've got not all the characters, but most of the Star Wars characters. Because I was playing it a couple years ago and just trying to arrange fights between stormtroopers and clone troopers, and I needed to get the Force Awakens and the original trilogy. I don't remember what it's called. I had to get those things bought so I could get the stormtroopers unlocked, because you have to get them on those to get the stormtroopers. I only have the.
That's how they get you.
I only have the Clone Wars one because it came with the Star Wars or the Disney Infinity 3.0 as it's called. But I got Darth Vader, Kylo Ren were the only ones that have the only ones of those other two trilogies I got. And then later on, I decided to get some more characters because I wanted to, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Toys to Life is that, like, they're good games. Like, I had Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
It was all right. I enjoyed it. But, like, Lego Dimensions is, like, it's a like, as a Lego game, it's one of the best ones they ever made. Like, it's a freaking awesome Lego game. It's really well made. But just having to
also Clone Wars.
Buy all that stuff, it's crazy.
I haven't played Lego Clone Wars.
Ooh, that one's good too. Probably my least favorite Lego Star Wars game, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, so. But I've played still a pretty decent amount. I've played Complete Saga. I played Lego Star Wars 1 and 2 before the Complete Saga. I played Lego Marvel 1 and Avengers on 360. I played Lego Lord of the Rings on 360, Lego Pirates, Jurassic World. What else is there?
So you're pretty well versed in Lego gaming, I would say.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like which, it's not because they're Lego games. It's like which kind of franchise I'm into. So,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
it's like Lego Lord of the Rings over Harry Potter. Which do you think I'm gonna choose? Lego Harry Potter just to see what it's like and say forget Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Like it's just like I like Lord of the Rings more, but I'm gonna get Harry Potter instead because Yeah,
because that makes sense.
Or get Lego Marvel instead of Lego Star Wars. Who cares about Star Wars?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But no. But obviously I haven't been so desperate with the Star Wars because, like I said, I didn't get Clone Wars. But Lego Skywalker Saga is the obvious. I think it's the most recent most people have played actually, because it was the most anticipated for a while and the most frustrating, obviously. But, and to a degree, I guess, these days it's still frustrating with a bunch of problems that it's got. And, there's things that I just think they really should have done with it. That, I bring this up every time. Enemies, you can fight some enemies on Geonosis and Naboo in the swamp, but...
That's true.
It's like...
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like Lego Batman 2... where you have 10 guys coming out of the ground every 5 seconds. You beat them,
you're right. I think a little bit
That's what I wanted. I wanted enemies that were, depending on which planet you were on, were native to that. Like clone troopers, from episode 2 were exclusive to Geonosis and Camino. And then clone troopers, like the 501st clones, were exclusive to Coruscant, and the clones with the orange on them from Utapau, and the clones that have scout trooper looking fate armor on, on Kashyyyk,
like Kashyyyk,
and stuff like that. I was hoping for something like that, and Sith troopers on Exegol.
Yeah, that'd be cool. See, I think that is one thing the game's missing.
But,
I mean, I don't. I'm perfectly fine just exploring the hubs, just being immersed in the worlds. But as far as you got all these cool blasters and cool lightsabers. What are you gonna break rocks all day? I mean, apparently I don't have a problem with it, but
well, I still do that, but I'd rather fight enemies just because it's nice when you can act you want to, when you're playing a Jedi, sometimes you just want to deflect lasers back at guys, and rocks don't throw rocks at you, and you deflect them back and say, home run.
Yeah, right. Unless you replay a level, but, you're specifically talking about the open world. But
yeah, I mean, the levels are good too, I guess, but they're limited, they're limited time to complete because they only take so few minutes, unless you just sit there idling for 30 minutes and then you decide to finish the level or something.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about the levels in that game is that the camera angle is the same as the hubs, which essentially makes every level like a little hub world. I think that's really cool how they did that. But
yeah, it's not like in the other ones where half the ground was gone because the camera was there.
I know. I think the worst...
There's this invisible wall there too when you're trying to move towards the camera.
Yeah, some of those are pretty janky. I think Lego, Lego Batman 3, that's probably one of my least favorite ones in terms of free roam.
Yeah,
because it's got that,
planets.
It's like that Mario Galaxy looking thing. It's just freaking weird. I don't know how they went from massive open world Gotham in Batman 2 to Batman. I get the Lantern Planet thing. I think it's a cool concept, but the execution just I don't know, man, wasn't there.
The best one I think is just the green one because you can use that's the only one you can use vehicles on, even though you can't really do much with them still because again, no enemies to shoot. But I like that you can use all sorts of vehicles from TV shows and movies. Including
the 1966.
Yeah, that one, or the Tumbler from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or there's also the Green Arrow's motorcycle.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I think Flash has like a pizza van or something weird.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll have to play again to find out, but.
Yeah.
That's the only planet I like of them all. I mean, it's kind of...
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Because I think all they had to do is all they had to do, for me at least, just make the Lantern Planets that's not Oa, the other ones, make them have the same camera angle as Oa, and then it's fine. But the way they did the camera angle, it makes it look, everything's really small, and there's barely any. And I know why they did it, but I don't know. It didn't work for me.
Part of it is probably space because they couldn't make the planets too big because it probably took up space and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's kind of.
What do you do?
But it was fun to complete anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had fun doing it. It's just the replayability in that game is not the best, but I think like some of the best replayability is Lego City, Lego Star Wars, obviously, Lego Marvel, and then there's Lego Rock Band.
Oh yeah, that's another one I haven't played, and
yeah, I had that as a kid. It was fun, but it was just I don't know. I mean, I think I broke my guitar or something weird. I don't know. Something happened to the guitar, and I just said screw it. But it's fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I'm sure. But
some of the songs were all right.
But yeah, I have my next topic here. Did you see the trailer for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire that I shared?
Wasn't it like a little teaser trailer, right?
Yeah, it's just like this dark kind of red environment with this big ape-looking guy with glowing blue eyes, and then
yeah.
You see the skull of Godzilla and Kong towards the end.
And that title.
Yeah.
I think it has the potential to be cool. I mean, it looks cool. I haven't seen any of the other ones except Skull Island, but you're more versed in it. What did you think?
It was first of all unexpected because I didn't expect a big ape to be the new monster villain.
Yeah.
But as long as he's different than Kong, and not just in terms of personality, but like design, I suppose it would be cool because he has to be menacing enough to take on both Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah, so it's like monkey versus Godzilla versus monkey.
Yeah, but
weird.
Some characters from GVK are returning, and there's going to be some new ones, obviously, because they can't not have new ones.
Right. Well, that's cool. So it's kind of like the MCU or like the Skywalker Saga, where like there's characters that are in one and then they kind of come back for the other.
Yeah. I mean, Godzilla and Kong Skull Island are the only two. Well, actually, no. Actually, it's. Let's see. I gotta remember here. There's a few characters from Godzilla that return in King of the Monsters, and then there's, I think, only one character from from Skull Island that returns as well, but he's older than he is in Skull Island.
Okay.
It's a different actor too, obviously.
Oh.
But
so they recast him.
Yeah, well, it's because it takes place in the present day as opposed to Cold War era. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's characters from King of the Monsters that returns in GVK, and then there's characters now from GVK that that are returning for this one. So, but
sounds like a lot of returning.
Yeah. But as long as it's
that's a good thing, though.
Decent enough, because I don't mind it being. I don't mind the human characters all that much, but as long as they don't do certain things, But
yeah, I mean, I'm not one to talk. I've only seen one of them, but like Brie Larson, she could return, right? I don't know if she does, but there's that potential for it.
Well, I don't know. Her character might have to be an older lady, unless they do something like you mentioned in Winter Soldier with Peggy. Unless they did something like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because like characters from Skull Island, they'd have to have something extraordinary for any of them to return, because they'd be a whole lot older. And
yeah, there'd be a lot of old people prosthetics, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. So.
Every scene of them, they just be in a hospital or something.
Yeah, could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be. I think it's got the potential to be a good film still, because it's just a continuation of what happened in Godzilla versus Kong, and just delving deeper into some more themes that were introduced in it. So
I'm excited to see that, though. I think it'll be. I'm excited. Like, once I actually get these movies, and I swear to God, I keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do it," and then I don't. But I am. Yeah, okay, I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna do it.
I'm not doubting.
Yeah, I do want to watch them because they look awesome. But it's just like that process of getting them. But I'll have to check the library, or maybe the exchange has them.
Yeah, you might just have to go on to eBay or something, because I'm sure they have them there. And sometimes they're actually not that expensive, because that's where I went for some of my stuff. I got the Indiana Jones Last Crusade soundtrack from, I think it was eBay, because I had the first two, but not that one, and I finally decided it was time I got that one. But of course, the store I got the other two at the time doesn't have even anything Indiana Jones soundtrack related anymore. So.
Oh, perfect.
So.
Awesome, cool.
But yeah, I'm sure you could find it on eBay for a good price. And I'm wondering if there's even a Godzilla sort of 3-movie collection.
Well, maybe. I mean, they'll probably wait for that once more of them kind of release. Is this supposed to be the last one, or? Because I know this is a pretty popular series.
I don't know if it's the last one, but it's. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they're pretty popular.
Yeah. They've got a 3-movie collection with Kong Skull Island, and then King of the Monsters and versus Kong. So.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't see just Godzilla. But if you had to, I guess you could just get another Kong Skull Island if you needed to with the 3-movie collection, and then get the Godzilla separate.
Yeah, and then I could take Skull Island to the exchange, then the separate one. But
yeah, but
that's cool. Now you mentioned Indiana Jones: Last Crusade. This will probably be the last topic for tonight. But what do you think about Dial of Destiny? Are you excited? Are you going to see it?
Yeah, I'm gonna see it.
Because there's a lot of rumors.
When's it come out again? The end of the month?
I believe it's June 30th.
Yeah, so I'll probably wait at least 2 weeks after, just to let the crowd die down first. Because, for one thing, it's better to go in a less crowded theater when you can hear more of the film and less people next to you talking.
That is true.
And also, it's easier to find seats when there's less people seeing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing about that film. I love all 4 movies. I know. Crystal Skull sucks. I like it, all right. But I think that the
King of the Monsters sucks too, and you'll love it. So.
Yeah, right. There are some movies people hate that I hate too, but it's rare. Like I've seen Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, Catwoman. Yeah, those are horrible.
Well, I didn't.
But
back when I was a kid, anyway, I liked those Batman movies. I was kind of obsessed with characters with capes, and Batman and Robin were kind of the ones with the capes at the time. And
yeah,
I don't know why I had this obsession about having action figures that had capes with them, like actual fabric capes, not just plastic ones you stick on, and wanting to take them into the bathtub all the time. And then the capes I think the capes get ruined if they go in the water or something, but I didn't care.
Oh.
But
you're like, yeah.
But yeah, definitely the Dark Knight trilogy is better than those films. So.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's cool if you like them. I mean, I don't hate them, but I bought them on Blu-ray from the exchange for like $2 each, and I was like, like Catwoman though. Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, I can see some of why they're not all that good. But we'll save that for next podcast because we're talking about Indiana Jones here.
Right.
Not Batman.
Well, it's funny because yeah, that'll be next time. A lot of people are seeing it and they're like, "Oh, Dial of Destiny is horrible." You know me, everyone listening. I only listen to myself. I'll listen to others, but I only trust myself. Yeah. If I love it, I don't care if everyone in the world hates it. Or if I hate it, vice versa.
Speaking of hate, would you?
Yeah.
You've seen Guardians Volume 3, so would you say it's recommended?
I think it's one of the best Marvel movies they've ever put out. I mean, in terms of the MCU specifically, I think it's genuinely...
That's one I would like to see because it's kind of the end of that era of Guardians. And
yeah. No, it's genuinely a beautiful movie. Like, you gotta see it ASAP. It's freaking awesome.
Give me time.
Yeah. Or something. Get it on Blu-ray. I don't know what you're gonna do, but see it because it's incredible.
So... But yeah, I'm thinking of seeing it. But
I was a little nervous when I saw Nebula at the poster. But
yeah, definitely Dial of Destiny I'm going to see. But I'm going to see about taking some parents of mine with me because my mom just wanted to go see a movie for a while with all of us.
Oh, that's a good
we've just not done it because for whatever reason. Or I've never gone. Like my parents went to see this one movie, this Christian movie, and I didn't go see it because I think I was coming to do a podcast actually.
So yeah, you're saying I'm at fault.
Well, I don't exactly.
You're the reason I don't
remember entirely what the reason was. I don't remember entirely.
Oh, okay, well let's just say that's not it. So no one hates me.
But anyway, yeah, I didn't go see it with them, so I figured this would be a good one to go see with all three of us, because I know my dad likes that franchise, and, it just would seem like
that's cool. I mean,
thing for all three of us to see, so.
Yeah, I really think you'll like it. I mean, you like the first two, right?
I'm talking about Indiana Jones.
Oh, I was talking about Guardians for a second.
No. I might see Guardians 2 with all three of us, but I haven't made up my mind on that yet. Assuming it's even in theaters yet by the time.
Yeah, I think it's leaving soon. It'll probably be on Disney Plus and then Blu-ray soon, so you'll have to look for that.
Yeah, so... But yeah, definitely I'm gonna see Dial of Destiny. And
yeah, I'm crazy pumped for it.
I'm just hoping despite it being Harrison's last, that he doesn't die in it, because, I hate it when it's a character's last thing, and a lot of the time they die as a result. Like, you see Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man die. He can't just have a peaceful life with Pepper after.
I know.
You see, who else?
Well, they killed Han, Leia, Luke, which I think are all good deaths, but they did kill them.
Yeah, well, Leia is kind of understandable because her death was before her death.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So, she kind of had to die in the end because the actress did.
Yeah.
But then again, there's people that don't, that shouldn't have had to die just because the actor did, because you see Harrison's going to play General Ross, apparently, and yet they couldn't get somebody good to play T'Challa.
Yeah, I know. That's so stupid.
But,
don't even get me...
Logic is escaping smart minds these days, so...
Yeah. I mean, maybe I get it because it's like, it's an icon, and, Thunderbolt Ross really...
Yeah, maybe they didn't want to offend a bunch of black people by casting another black person to take the place of another black person or something. I don't know.
Could have been, or they'll make it the White Panther. I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, but whatever.
It's all messed up.
I'm not seeing it, so I don't have to worry.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta focus on Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. So, but
But all right, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up. We're about an hour and 10 minutes in. That went really fast, though. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, so I'll have to think new topics next time now, as I didn't have as many as usual, but mainly because I haven't been paying much mind to it lately. I've been more focused on Halo.
Yeah, well, we can talk about Halo next time, for sure. I mean, I've only played like one of them, but we can talk about it. You can educate me.
So, but yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one too. So.
Yeah, leave a like for sure. I'll have a link for Echo. I'm getting all these people confused. Recon Troopers podcast down below, and of course, subscribe to myself, subscribe to Recon. And yeah, I have some more. I'll have to think of some more topics, but this was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, certainly.
But anyway, guys, I'll let you go. Oh yeah, they better be.
Yeah, until we have one where we're arguing the whole time.
I just won't post it. I'll be like, yeah, we didn't film actually.
Yeah, but
he was watching Dial of Destiny. We didn't get to filming.
Yeah.
But
my bad.
Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed, and can't wait to do another one. We got a lot of more topics. I'm sure we both have that we want to cover, and I'm excited. Maybe we can do one on Dial of Destiny, because I'm assuming we will, we'll have seen that by the time.
Perhaps we should wait a little bit, because you don't like spoiling after seeing a movie in theaters, so we should at least wait until it's on, at least out of theaters, before we talk about it.
Or we could just do it, and then I'll just tell them you're out of luck.
Because, I, unlike you, I actually, when I talk about something, I want to talk about it. I'm not going to constantly say, I don't want to spoil everything,
Yeah.
So.
It's hard. It's hard to review movies when they come out in theaters.
Yeah, so.
But, yeah, well, we got a lot of stuff to cover, guys, so don't worry. The podcasts here are not going anywhere. We'll have a lot of stuff to cover, but yeah, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Again, thanks, buddy. I had a good time, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Later, folks.